All right, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, did you see Adrian?
I see Hugo. Is that Adrian?
Oh, Hugo, no, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think it is. Anyway, he'll probably be here in just a minute. But we wanted to give a big shout out, and I'm sure Adrian wants to help with that, to Mr. Dylan Suggs. He is just one day, and tomorrow he will be a professional network marketer. The day 65 today, which is awesome. We're so excited. I know. That is so cool. Oh shoot. Let's see here.
Roxana.
Here he is. Adrian, where are you? Okay. Oh, you're here. Okay, Adrian, are you there? I just spotlighted you.
Spotlight.
Yeah. All right.
What's going on, everybody? How are we doing today?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Look at Peggy. How cool is that? You got the interns in the house. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That is very, very, very cool.
Happy birthday, Lorene.
There's Lorene, the birthday girl.
Woo-hoo.
What's up, Queen Lorene?
Queen Lorene, I like that.
My best birthday present will be nobody acknowledge that I'm a year older.
There's some point at which the numbers start going down, right? That's how it works.
Yeah. I met that 6 years ago, and now I'm like 41.
Hey, Lorene, it's Tom, me, Marianne, and you within 10 days.
I know.
Yeah, well, I add Teresa Pulley to that.
Oh, that's right.
Hers is tomorrow. So, yeah.
I forgot about my old man in that equation, but I think my statement still stands that the power women of longevity are all born in a very short spurt. I think Tom is actually he's a girl on the inside.
Yeah, he's kind of a girl on the inside.
Fan, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Adrian, I actually have a photo of your dad that would kind of question whether he's female or male.
I know exactly which picture. I think I know which picture you're talking about. He is a heck of a cross-dresser.
Wow.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that very much. It's been a crazy day.
Oh my gosh, we got Michael Swirlings on here too. Look, Michael.
And you guys may never know who's really listening either.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Cross-dresser himself.
Thomasina.
Nobody tell him about the red dress, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've seen that picture too.
Oh,
I saw that picture.
Well, Tom, do you want to take it away, or you just? What are you doing? You're incognito.
I am completely incognito. I heard you guys have an agenda. I want to learn something. I'll pitch in if I need to. We do have the great Michael Zwirling on here, who is unbelievable. He's the guy that I said this on the 3-Star Carl. If there's one person other than Dr. Wallach that kept this company alive for all these years, it has been Michael Zwirling. All of us owe him a massive debt of gratitude. He is unbelievable. He's been with us for over 20 years. He is the voice of radio for Dead Doctors Don't Lie and the Dr. Wallach messaging, and just phenomenal human being. So all of you need to just kind of bow to the whatever direction and give him a phone hug. And he's an adorable man. He looks like David Letterman, but he is really, truly one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet in your life. So no, I heard you guys have a plan here, Marianne, and I'm really excited about being a part of it. Dylan Suggs, congratulations. I know you're at the finish line here, and I'm extremely proud of you. You're a protege and somebody I take great pride in, and your leadership is off the chain. So with that said, take it back, Adrian and Marianne and everybody. I'm in an airport, so it's going to get loud and crazy, and I'm just going to watch you guys have fun. So I'm right here.
Awesome. Well, that's a perfect segue. Congratulations are definitely in order. So everybody congratulate Dylan here. Dylan, today is day number 65 for him. And so we have another professional network marketer, although I think he was already there, but another official professional network marketer in our ranks. And Dylan, congratulations, man. You have just really shown the way. You've been leading a team. You've been showing them the right way to do this, how to go deep, how to really develop relationships. And so just talk a little bit about, the victory lap and how it feels and what you learned along the way, Dylan.
Hello, everybody. So nothing beats really being able to do that. I mean, again, I was always telling Tom that since the beginning, I'd collected notes on people that I had met every day. I kind of have an advantage because if I hadn't done a coffee shop, I just turn on Uber and Lyft, and I'll just do rides and literally just talk to these people and get connected with the most random people. So I will say, if y'all are having trouble with this, I mean, I would sign up for Uber and do rides because you just have the best kinds of conversations with people, and there's no harm in getting connected with people through that. So there was some times for sure I used that to my advantage, but nothing beats the app, Contact Mapping, because when it first came out, it was kind of, still getting used to it. And then when he made that recent update, I think that I really just poured into it about 3 weeks ago or so, maybe less, and just started to really use that app. And it has helped me a bunch because I literally got to where I posted people on Facebook, my coffee shops, but I wouldn't even have them in my notes like I usually do. And so that kind of sucks because I would have to go all the way down in Facebook just to find my, day 23 or whatever to figure out all that. So I think the Contact Mapping app is super effective. It keeps everything organized. As soon as you open it, I mean, it's not Facebook, right? So it's not distracting. And as soon as you open Contact Mapping, it's your work, and it's work that needs to be done. And not to mention, the one thing I enjoy, I know this became like a Contact Mapping promotion, but the one thing I really enjoy about Contact Mapping itself is that you open up your list every day, and you all of a sudden you feel like you have connections. You don't feel so like, man, I burned a lead by sending them all this stuff. And that was what I was doing until about day 40 was, I'd say about mid 30s, but it was just, it was literally like I coffee shopped him, I sent him a tool, and it just, the relationship wasn't built correctly. And I had salvaged a lot of those connections because of just my eagerness to we had such a good conversation. So I just figured they'd be right on board, right? But that is not the case. It's better with the Contact Mapping app to find out that you have so many people to talk to that you can just reach out and just say hello, hope they're having a great week, happy Independence Day, whatever is going on in their life, you can just touch up on, ask them how that job is doing, ask them how something specific is going. And more than likely, you're going to get responses, and it doesn't need to be, I'm ready to join your business. It could easily as be just, oh yeah, this is doing great. And you can just connect with people more efficiently. And so that's what I found being really great. So I really appreciate it, and thank you for the opportunity. It has definitely changed the way I network. It has changed the way I am a constant network marketer. So I really appreciate all the congrats, guys.
That's awesome, Dylan. And one more question for you. What would you say to somebody who either is just getting started or who is kind of sitting on the sidelines thinking about whether this whole thing is worth it?
It's definitely worth it because at the end, you find out how simple it is to meet people and the connections that you make on the process and the journey. If doing it correctly, you will have a bunch of relationships now to follow up with and to pour into. So I think that is totally worth it. And I think that everyone should definitely consider pounding after it. Like I said, you can get creative, sign up for Uber or be on your Facebook and just reach out to people and just line people up, and have moments of like blitz, just go through a bunch of people and communicate with them and just check in. So that would be, I would say, just it's worth it. It's hard. It is very difficult. There are days where I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work out today, but I got them done, and so I think that it just proves that it's what the work is worth, I think that's really great. So, yeah.
That is phenomenal. Great job. And for those of you who didn't see it, Dylan posted one other thing along the way that I thought was fantastic, and that that I've been talking to a few different people along the way, and Dad has talked about this too, which is just that you don't understand the power that comes from when you shift from feeling like you don't have enough people to talk to that you have so many to talk to that you almost don't know what to do with them. The pressure just comes off of you in terms of having to, throw a product opportunity at them, throw a business opportunity at them, all this sort of stuff. And you just, you become free to just love them. And then all of a sudden they become attracted to you because they stopped feeling that agenda that was behind your eyes. And so just know, I think you don't realize that until you get a little ways into it. It takes a little while for that to happen, but once that shift occurs, it changes everything. And I think Dylan articulated that really, really well. And so for those of you who might be new and don't know what this contact mapping is that Dylan's talking about, go to contactmapping.com and check it out. It's an app that I have actually developed. So forgive the sort of plug that goes alongside of that, but I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't think it was really, really going to help you. And there's two pieces that you need to look at. You need to look at the app itself, but you need to download the coffee shop interview, which is on there under the philosophy section. So if you haven't seen that before, those are the two things that you need to go and check out. So Dylan, again, awesome job. Thank you so, so much. And thanks for sharing your wisdom today and all along the way. And I see that we have another VIP here in the house. Mr. Dave Brisky is here. Hi, Dave.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being on here. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, I got to pop in and see where the real action is happening. So it's great to see all this young talent. Look at Dylan shaking like he's ready to get into a prize fight and, you know, make look at you with that big old smile. So, you know, it's all looking good.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, and please chime in anytime. We love just the support of our leaders. For you guys to be on these calls like that means a ton to us. So thanks for being here, Dave.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm anxious to hear what you guys are talking about, and I'll try to chime in and add something important when I can. You know, I don't have that much important stuff to say. So
Awesome. Well, hey, so we have a cool topic today, and I want to thank Tammy Willis, who's on the call. She and I were talking this morning, and she was sharing just a little bit about how, you know, she was thinking about getting together with another leader in longevity, and really, you know, they're in a, you know, somewhat of a similar place, but she was like, I just want to, you know, I want to see how somebody else just does their day running their longevity business. And I just think that we could all benefit from seeing, you know, not even necessarily how the Tom Chenaults of the world, who are obviously very much full-time on longevity, but the whole sort of spectrum of, you know, how do different people with different family constraints, different lifestyle constraints, all those sort of things, how do people work their business? And so we're going to have a really cool little roundtable today. And Marianne, I want to thank you, because Marianne did all the legwork usual to tee up some awesome people to share with us today and just talk a little bit about what a day in the life of their longevity business looks like, and some of the things that they can share with you in terms of wisdom that they've learned along the way, kind of the habits that they've built into their life. So Marianne, do you want to pick that up?
Yes, thanks, Adrian. So I love this idea. So thank you so much, Tammy, because I think it's really important for us to look at all these different aspects, like Adrian was saying, you know, the Tom Chenaults of the world. But what about those people that are working part-time or maybe still working full-time, and how are they building a longevity business along the way? So I thought we'd start off with a few people that are currently working a job and also building a business and doing pretty well. They're at least at a 1-star in their business today and building to 2-star or, 3-star. So one of the people that I thought about right off was Roxana, and she's calling in. I think she's calling. Roxana, are you here? Can you hear me? Roxana? Maybe she's not on right now. So we'll give her.
She's on her iPhone, but I can't unmute her. It looks like she may have herself muted.
Oh, okay.
You might not have the audio part enabled yet, so we'll give.
Okay. So so let's go ahead, and I also have Lorene, who's going to talk a little bit. She's, she is a 5-star herself, so I want to save her kind of for last. But let's go ahead, and Pamela, if you can share a little bit, because you work full-time, you incorporate longevity into your business. How do you go about doing that? What's your day look like? I know you're very, very organized, unlike myself. So share how your day starts off and what you do for longevity.
Oh, do you want me or Lorene? Who are we starting with?
No, you.
Oh, me. Okay. the thing, okay? So I want you to understand that no matter our daily walk of what we do, we have the ability to command authority. I happen to have that ability with patients in my neuromuscular therapy practice that I've had for over 15 years. So I have a kind of a way that I can tell people, this is what you need to do, you need to do it. But that's unique for me as being a healthcare practitioner. What I want all of you to be able to employ is the healthevaluationsystem.com to be able to use Doc Wallach as the expert. And then that way you can say to people, using that command of authority in a loving way, whether it's for family or friends that you know, keeping in mind that we're not throwing up on new people. These are people you have a long-standing relationship with. Then you can say, listen, I remember you told me about this that was happening in your life, and I want you to take a look at this. And so however that works, it could be somebody who loves coffee. It could be somebody who loves mission work. It could be somebody who has health issues. It could be somebody who needs to increase their income. But you need to listen and know what it is for that particular person, because you're going to handle the situation a little bit differently. For example, tonight we just came back from dinner at a little local restaurant that we love when we're down here at the beach. We walk across the street and down the road. I had already made the connection with the owners. I found out that they're actually looking for capital because they're trying to raise money in a different kind of a way where you kind of buy into the business, which we did, and you get a little discount when you get to go there. But the truth is they're looking for something we have, and I'm paying attention because I'm doing the research. So I'm looking for that groundwork. And so today I got to meet him for the first time. Andy and I and Gavin, when we were there, we got to meet him in person. He was very excited. And so we're building that relationship. The point is, it's still all about the coffee shop interview and the three-way that you do on a daily basis. So you need to keep that in mind. So whatever tool you use, whether you are helping them to procure financing or you're helping them with their health evaluation, all of those things together, you need to be ready with whatever arrow you pull out of your quiver to help these people to get them what they are already asking you for. And what Dylan has just been able to accomplish through his 65 days and his 66th wake up tomorrow of being a professional network marketer is being a professional listener, loving on people and giving them what they tell you they want. And the truth is, when you do this, when you're committed and you create the habit, things will shift for you. And so once you get past that 20 or maybe the 30-day mark, or maybe even sooner, all of a sudden you're going to be falling over people because you're acting in a different way. You're providing them value and not asking for anything back. And all of a sudden the world opens up and things work. And so that's what I really would like to impart to everyone today.
So what you're saying, you're using the tools, you're using what's already there, right? What access you have to the system, to your knowledge, but moving it over to the tools so that you don't have to be the expert, because too many times we try to become that expert in that area versus using the tools. And then we also have, the Longevity University part of that system. Well, good. So does anybody have any questions for Pamela about how she does her business and does longevity and does her, because you have another business, right? Your, what do you call it?
Neuromuscular therapy practice.
Right. A lot of.
And actually I've been able to quote, retire that. I closed the actual location of my practice I had for 15 years. However, I have a handful of patients, probably about 10, maybe a little more, that I take care of, that I go to their homes and work with them because they don't move away because they can't live without me. And so I've been very blessed to be a part of their lives, and they're my family. And so, as long as they need me, then I'm going to provide for them. And they know that I love them, and they know that no matter what, that I'm looking out for their best interest. And that's something too I want you to understand, is that's the kind of relationship you need to have with people, that no matter what, they know that you've got their back, that you're not trying to get something from them, but you're trying to help them.
Pamela, how does it work for you with trying to, you're meeting people all the time professionally. You obviously, in addition to the muscular therapy, can offer opportunity for them and wellness for them beyond those things. How do you manage that from a professional perspective?
Well, again, it's about 2 ears and 1 mouth. So you need to pay attention to the needs of the people. You need to be able to know what it is that they're looking for, because not everyone you come in contact with has the same need. And so if you treat people individually, and that's kind of a scary thing, because you kind of think in your head, oh, if I have a script, or if I know this, then I can handle this the whole way. That's not how it works. We need to treat people like people. Don't count them as a number. And in this world today, most people are counted as numbers. And so if you can make them feel like you appreciate and love them, you're going to go a lot farther in the way that your relationship builds and how they trust you. Because remember, we're building that level of trust. And it can be between 5 and 12 contacts of a new person. But for these people that you're talking with, like I have a patient of mine who I've been working with for years and years, and she's had an issue of waking up in the middle of the night. And I kept saying, sweeties, we need sweeties. We need to get you sweeties. And she was like, no, I'll do the essential oils. Okay, we tried the essential oils. That didn't work. And so then I said, all of a sudden her sugars are shooting up, and she's a slim person, but all of a sudden her sugar's shooting up and she's crying. She's like, I can't sleep. I don't do this. It's like, I've cut out all the bad foods. I'm losing weight. It's not working. And I said, let's try glucogenics and sweeties. We're going to alternate it between the times of the day, 4 times throughout the day of taking them. And all of a sudden she's sleeping through the night and she's feeling better. Okay. And I'm not saying that in a way of prescription. I'm just saying if we provide her body with what it needs, her body is going to function at its best capability. But it's about listening and saying, what is it that you need?
Yeah. Great. Okay. Dave Brisky had his hand up, and
I did. I just wanted to say that, Pamela, you're absolutely incredible. I think you are such a beacon for everyone really in this industry to follow. I watch you at events, and you just really have a really good natural way of tucking people in, no matter who they are, and it comes across so naturally. I think everyone can learn something from that. You're not there to get anything out of them, and when you genuinely give that way, it comes back tenfold. And I just really want to acknowledge that certain way that you have. And I don't know if it's teachable or coachable or trainable, but if you get into this industry, Tom always talks about love and love some more. And, it's one of his lines. But at the end of the day, if you're going to commit to this business, you got to figure out how much time you can put into it. It doesn't really matter, but you have to figure out what that time is. And then business then consumes you. You just can't help it, right? But you're going to have to be there for the people. But you're there across the board. The commitment you make, the engagement, whether it's on 65 and a wake up, in a face-to-face situation, on all of these different calls, every time I kind of pop in, Pamela is there. And that to me, that's infectious, and that it shows off to your team. So good on you. And I just wanted to recognize, I believe that the winners in this business are not the sellers, are the givers. And it's the little things that really matter. And you give those little things, and the most successful people are not the ones selling. They really are sharing their life, and you build trust that way. And once people trust you, you can influence them, and you influence them in stuff that you are genuinely a part of. So I just wanted to applaud you for really impressed me.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? I'm going to give a plug to God, because that's where I learned it from. And as far as all I can understand is that if we can love others as we love ourselves, then we're going to be okay. And so that's really what I would impart to everyone is just to be loving no matter what. It's all going to work out, because the God's plan is so much bigger than what we have going on. And so if you pay attention and you care about people genuinely, it's all going to work out. So thank you.
Hey, did I hear that? Thanks, Pam. Did I hear that Dylan is literally on 65 tomorrow?
65 today?
Today. Oh my God. Dylan, congratulations. I know what a heavy lift that is. I have watched many people start and not finish. So good on you, man. That is not easy. I do pop in there. Sometimes I'm trying to multitask. Sometimes I'm reading and forgetting to comment, but I actually probably see more than you realize just because I forget to like or comment or whatever, just a lot of things going on. But I don't see that many people make it to the end. So good on you, Dylan. That's huge.
Awesome. All right. So now we have Roxana. Are you unmuted? Did we figure that out?
She posted, I am listening. I could not be heard.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move over to Lorene then. Thank you, Lorene, for being on here tonight. And Dave, thank you. That's just awesome that you're here. And so I wanted Lorene to share a little bit about what her day in the life of Youngevity looks like. And she is more full-time, right? I want her to talk a little bit about how she was in real estate and how she got to network marketing, and then how she makes all this work and pulls it all together. Because Lorene is just awesome. I think she's got a lot of those great qualities that leaders have, and she's always there to help every time I've needed help. A lot like Pamela, she's just a very servant type person, and I appreciate that about her. So Lorene, tell us about you and Youngevity and what the day looks like.
Okay, so my days tend to get busy, and today I did the call with Linda Tyler, and I shared from the heart how to be productive and not just busy. And when I was in real estate, it was simple. Here's the list of homes to show, buyer, this is what the buyer wants, and go show just what they want. Because if you take them through a house that doesn't fit their needs, they'll go find another realtor out there that will. In this profession, it really is no different. You have to listen to what they want, just like Pamela was saying, listen to what they want. Don't try to sell them your agenda, find out where they are, where they want to be, and the routine, the ABCs of our profession. So in my daily routine, as being, I still have life crisis. I still have my husband's company. I still have, I've never learned how to say no. So I still do all of my volunteer work that I signed up for when I was much younger, and should have quit doing a lot of that since. Or pass the torch, I should say. So it's just so hard because I still work with a group of women. And unfortunately, I've not been able to save the world yet on the decisions that young people make wrong. No matter how many times or how many people can share their experiences, each person has to have their own experience to learn from. And so no matter how much you want people to be healthy or how many times I don't want another unwed pregnant mom, it's going to happen. And so you just learn to use the tools. And the tools to work with those women are simple. I do a checklist. I have the checklist. And so with Youngevity, it's the same way. Use the tools to do all the heavy lifting. Contact mapping, rapid funnel. I could not exist today in this profession or in anything else if I had not given up the I could do it better my way and went that route. I mean, I look at Tom, I look at Adrian. Adrian has been doing everything else except our profession, and now he's in our profession and he's growing into a monster. It helps to have his brains. It helps to have the support at home. But you know what? The life is already still there. And as great life can be, as great as it can be, everybody has their own little form of dysfunction. So in my preparing for the day of Youngevity, I accept that I'm not going to be perfect through the day. But I wake up drinking Youngevity. I go to the gym when I go. Don't go every day. But when I go with Youngevity. I have my, I know it's dated, but I still have all of my little marketing stuff. See, you too, some of you guys. I still have my coffee cups that Dave Brisky gave me the first time I ever met him, and I still drink from them. Everything that I do is longevity. We have the training center to where we don't sell products out of this place. We teach people how to use the products. And I think that's a different look for people, but I take this serious, and this is my job. This is my chosen job. And so what I usually ask my leaders, what did you do, or how did you decide to hold the job down that you hold every day if you're not full-time longevity? What made you go that route? What turned you on about that job? And some people are still in the same job out of fear of change. And in my opinion, you just have to use the systems. I shared today that I think it was like 190% of the people that are holding down jobs are looking for other jobs. I shared that this morning. That is documented. 200% of the people are buying things online that last year they bought in a brick and mortar store. Our jobs are getting easier, and we're not having to lift anything. It's happening because we're evolving. And if we will stop being in control, and we will start walking the walk, talking the talk, and stop selling people things they may or may not want, and just, showing them, just sharing with them your experience, and serving them coffee when they're at your house, or cheese or butter or whatever it is you serve up. If it's just that, post things that are informative on Facebook, not your links. Post things that teach people how to do the keto, like so many of you guys are doing, and I am really trying to learn. That's been the hardest thing for me is taxes and lose weight. I don't know. It's just I never had that problem before, but those are the things that I just try to turn loose of the control. I'm a control freak, and I turn it loose, and I talk too much. So I'm going to hush if you have any questions. But a day in a life for me is I wake up breathing air, and everything about what I do has longevity attached to it, period. Boom.
That is so cool.
Right.
That's awesome. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. But what I wanted to say a little bit about what everybody is saying here is that they're going out in life and doing longevity. It's not like you go out to go do longevity. You go out into life, and longevity just happens around you. And the other side of that is, when we're talking about listening, we've all talked about that. And so many people say, oh, you just need to go out and talk to more people. But what I want to say is you need to go out and listen to more people.
Right.
And so, when somebody says, oh, they'd be great for network marketing, they can talk to anybody. Yeah, they can talk, but can they listen? And that's the big thing. That's the big message here that everybody's saying. That's why the coffee shop interview works so great. That's why the contact mapping, bless you, Adrian, works so great. And so finding the tools that can work for you, right, in your business, because maybe something is not going to be perfect for you. And so finding a tool that is perfect for you. And like, I love the contact mapping the other day, I pull it up. I had 8 follow-ups that day. You're not ever going to have a problem about who should I talk to that day. And so using those tools, the rapid funnel is great. I use that to send out, tools all day long to different people and what have you. And so use the things that are there that will help you move forward. And, the other thing is that we don't actually have enough time to explain all of this to everybody. Otherwise, you might only get to talk to like 2 people a day because you're going to be talking to them for hours on end. And so moving them along with the tools, again, is just a great resource. Okay. What else do we have? Adrian, what do you?
Yeah, I think those are such good thoughts. And the tools, whatever tools you choose to use, are so important, because when you're just getting started and you're working a full-time job and you only have so many hours that within your week to make this business work and to try to create this escape velocity for your business to get this thing off the ground and before the runway runs out, that's hard and it's scary. And what it means is that you've got to maximize every minute that you can give to this business. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're trying to squeeze this in between time with your kids, if you're working a 40-hour-a-week job or a 50-hour-a-week job and you're trying to do it in the nighttime, whatever that is, if you use the tools they're there to serve you so that you are organized, and that when it comes time to squeeze that 30 minutes in there, that you don't spend 25 of those minutes trying to figure out who the heck to call or what the heck to do. You open that thing and you're ready to go and you know what to do. Or on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Lorene, right? Lorene is working this thing full time. She's working, helping her husband with his business on top of it and everything else that she does. But she's doing this at such volume that to keep all of those people and all those interactions straight, if she doesn't have a tool, she's going to go crazy, because she's got to keep all these things in the right spot. And so wherever you are on the spectrum, I see you, Lorene. Wherever you are on that spectrum, you've got to, the key thing is to know what to do and to get yourself from switching out of whatever it was that you were doing before and into the right action as fast as possible. And if you can have tools that are going to allow you to do that, so you can check up on where people are and you can open a rapid funnel and you can go, okay, this person opened this thing today. I need to call them and ask them what they thought about that video because they finally watched it. And here's my follow-ups for today that I know that I've got to get to before the day ends. And, you know, I haven't done my 2 yet. I've got to get those 2 knocked out. So those habits and knowing that this is my checklist, these are the things that if I do this, it's going to pay me dividends over time. Having those tools in place, knowing what you are doing is so critical. And no matter where you are in the spectrum, no matter where you are in your journey, you've got to have those things in place. And you've got to figure out what's going to work for you, right? Because it's not, even if it's the same tool for everybody, the way that we use it, the way we approach it's not going to be the same. And every tool is not going to work for every person, right? That's just the way of it. And so you've got to figure out what works for you. You've got to look to the leaders around you and look at what they do and learn from that. And that's why it's so cool to hear from so many of you guys today. But that is essential to being able to figure this out. And so you gotta use these people, use this community, even Crossline. That's what's so cool about these calls in this community is, I just saw Pamela on there offering up to help Tamra with, trying to figure out how she can work in her Youngevity business alongside what she's doing professionally in the healthcare industry. They're in totally different trees. And that happens all the time. And that's what this is about. And so use these people, look at who inspires you, look at who is somebody that you feel like you really resonate with and reach out to them. That I promise you, they are going to be honored that you thought to ask them for your help, because that's what we all want to do, right? We want to be recognized as leaders. We want people to look up to us. We want to share what we've learned because somebody did that for us along the way. What questions do people have?
I want to, hey, real quick. Ron Perry, is that you? Can you wave your hand, Ron? Are you listening? I think he's on here. So I had somebody call me tonight and they actually left me a message and said that they wanted me to give them a call back, that they'd seen my website. So I just totally assumed it was my website for Youngevity. And I gave this guy a call, and he was scouting network marketers, right? He's scouting network marketers to build his team. So, of course, you know what I did? I did the interview. But what was funny was when I asked him what company he was with, he goes, well, I'm with this great company called Youngevity. And so immediately I found out where he was in Youngevity and how, he came in as an orphan. Just did some research, signed up and what have you. And I said, you got to get on this call because I think what, he did he put his thumb up on the screen? Oh, good. I can't see him now. Popped to a different screen on mine. But anyway, so I'm so excited that he jumped on here tonight and I'm excited for him to meet this community. And like you said, it doesn't matter where he's at in the company, just the fact that he's getting the support that he needs and learning about the tools and learning how to do this the right way. So I'm really excited that he's here. Okay. Adrian, go ahead. Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
I'm pressing all kinds of buttons over here. There we go. So I think that there's been a lot of great content and a lot of great tips shared. One of the things that I think is hard for people getting started, and I just love for people, even if you haven't been called on and you've got something to share here, just to talk about really the nuts and bolts kind of stuff, especially if you're working a job and working this thing alongside of it. What have you figured out along the way? What works well for you? How do you what do you prioritize? How have you learned that along the way? Because I think sometimes that's a little mysterious to us when we're first getting started and we're trying to work this in alongside of jobs. And so I just would love for those of you in this community, there's a lot of us who've been here along the way for a long time, and there's a lot of wisdom here. So, pipe up and please, share some thoughts on how you have found success working this when you're first getting started. Anybody? Jennifer, yes. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. So, by the grace of God, look at me with my two glasses. I really can't see. Okay. By the grace of God, I am no longer working my other job, but when I was full-time, I wasn't 40 hours a week, but what I really did was I took advantage of any opportunity that on a break or I actually had access to a computer where I could send emails. I just, with being fully respectful to my employer, I took advantage of as much time when I wasn't having to actually do work, and I found little snippets here and there to send emails or make a quick phone call or set up an appointment for later that evening. That may not be true for everyone because they may be like, they can't do anything because they're on the clock. But if there's any flexibility in terms of using the time when you are at work on a break or whatever, I would just say maximize it, even to send a quick email or set up an appointment.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. And there, another thing that Dylan and Devin Suggs and there's quite a few of this team down in San Antonio who are all, really passionate about longevity, really passionate about making this is their plan A. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a second too, because I think that's really important, is this plan A versus plan B insight. But they are supporting, they're doing other things to earn money alongside their longevity businesses. They get it to where that can be their 100% gig. But they are really big on doing these kind of gig type of roles. But one of the key points of focus for those guys and gals is that they are doing they put as much focus and emphasis as they can on jobs that are going to allow them to be meeting people and prospecting as they do them. And so driving for Uber, like Dylan talked about when he was sharing earlier, going and, one of the things that they were sharing about is that they were trying to go and be, like event support for a Tony Robbins event that was going to be going on in Austin, because they were like, this would be awesome. We could earn some money, but we're going to be around all these like-minded people, get to do it for free, the whole thing. So it was like, they're going to go put themselves in an environment where they're going to be surrounded by the right kind of people. They're actually going to kind of have the inside track, and they're going to get paid to do it. So, just being really creative about what is going on around you in your community. If you have that kind of flexibility to be able to earn some extra dollars on the side, but keep your plan A, which is that you want longevity to be the thing that is your number one source of income and your full-time source of income in the long run. How do you stay focused on that? And that's something that Eric Worre talks a lot about, and I think it's really, really important, which is he really challenges people on what is your plan A and what is your plan B. And the number of hours per week that you work on plan A versus plan B is irrelevant to that question. What is relevant to that question is, where is your heart, where is your focus, and where are your priorities? And for a lot of us that are in a full-time paying job, it's hard for it, it just is. It's hard for that not to be your plan A. And as long as that's the case, it's going to be really hard for you might say that you want your network marketing business to become your sole source of income and that you focus on it full time. But until your heart really goes to the place of, I am committing that that's where I'm going to go, and I'm willing to make the sacrifices necessary to get there. I'm willing to maybe step back from some opportunities and some glory inside of the job that I'm in today, because I'm not, that's just biding my time until my longevity business can be my forever focus. That's a huge shift. And so just thinking about where your heart is, where your priorities truly are, and just taking a really hard look in the mirror. And it's okay if your plan A is your full-time job today, but I think you've got to know that that's true, and you've got to then decide for yourself if that's really working for you or if it's not working for you. And if it's not, then make the changes that you need in order to make that shift. And that doesn't mean quit your job, but it does mean to change your heart. It does mean to change your priorities and to really, make decisions through that prism, right? So if my family is the number one focus for me, and then my longevity is my number 2 focus, and then my job is my number 3 focus, then when I am faced with a hard decision, then I have to go, okay, I have to make sure that this meets my family, that I'm taking care of my family first. And then I got to make sure that I'm serving my longevity business in serving my long-term aspirations second. And then I've got to make sure that I don't neglect my job, but that's not necessarily my number 1 priority. And I think we face that in all sorts of areas of our life, even if it's just our full-time job versus our family or whatever it is. That's the stuff of life. But stepping back every once in a while and really thinking hard about that is critical. And I think I often find that I have kind of drifted until I stop and recenter myself on what are how do I make the things that are the number one things, the number one things, because life pulls us all different kinds of directions. And so staying focused there, talking to somebody, if that doesn't make sense to you, or if you don't even know how to unpack that, grab me, grab Marianne, grab Pamela, grab Peggy. There's so many of us on this call, grab Lorraine. There's a lot of us who would love to share with you and to help you think that through. And so there's resources here for you, but you can make this what you want to make it. And it doesn't mean it's not hard. It doesn't mean it doesn't take time. It doesn't, it's all of those things. There's no silver bullets, but really knowing where your priorities truly are is a huge, huge difference maker. What do you think, Marianne?
I was just kind of laughing because
I'm out of breath.
What?
I'm out of breath.
You're out of breath. Well, because I think everybody's always, like you said, the silver bullet, everybody's looking for the secret, right? And the secret is never, never, never quit. That's the secret. Just keep moving forward. Just keep doing it. Just keep learning. And sometimes it's personal development. Sometimes it's just learning the skills within network marketing. But really, this is all about learning how to be a better person and how to be better in your community with the people around you, and to reach out and do the things that most people are just going to walk on by. Most people.
I've got 2 minutes, but I want to tell you guys that you're 100% right. And, I don't believe it's about quitting for most people. I don't think they ever really got started. And what I love about all of you is you got started. And you got your toe in the water, and you're jumping in the water, and you're learning to swim, and you're realizing you can swim back to the dock, and you're realizing people are going to help you get out there. And it may be water wings, and there is no failure, but you people are doing it the right way. And making the main thing is the main thing. Even if you have a ton of distractions, you got to grind out some time every day for what is the dream called your life. And one thing I will tell you about me is that I am not passionate about network marketing and longevity. I am obsessed with it. And if you get that obsession, everything's going to shift for you. You will eat Longevity University like it's a ham sandwich. You'll eat it. You will devour GoPro like a strawberry shortcake. You will learn the 4-year career. And once that all happens to you, all of a sudden this all becomes mechanical, and you start getting to choose who you get to interview. I'm sitting on this chair, and here's the guy with the headsets. He sat right next to me. I moved. I did not want to interview that guy. I had no interest, man. He had a pack of Marlboros, and he smelled like he was using Marlboro cologne. And I thought, that's not going to be on my interview sheet today. I'm going to wait for somebody else to take that chair. And I'm going to say, hi, how you doing? Where are you going? What's going on? I like your shoes. and we're off to the races. We got interviews in the queue. And that's all it is. Once you believe you are, and start believing you are. I got to go, you guys. I just wanted to tell you, I stayed for the whole thing. I was overjoyed to hear the leadership and the passion of you guys. Move it to obsession and the party's over. Back to you, Marianne, the birthday girl, Lorene, the birthday girl, Pamela, the birthday girl. Unbelievable. Take it away, kids.
I think we're going to have to do like a birthday event, right? Where we can all show up and celebrate. And you guys are all welcome too. All right. Do you have anything, Adrian? Does anybody else have any questions? Or Jennifer? Jennifer's raising her hand. Unmute.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, thanks. I just remembered something super important that I wanted to share. So as I was working at my job, first I was able to go to part-time as my longevity business grew, but my husband wasn't working there during that time. And so what I did, and he was very resistant in the beginning, but my point is that if you have a family member or whatever that might be willing to get the vision with you, like if you can share, hey, honey, if we do this, we might be able to do X, Y, and Z. And not only that, I actually got my grandkids involved. I explain to them, you know, that if they can get involved, you know, I mean, so incorporating for those that are the busy working full-time person, if there's a family member that can help support with signups or whatever, the vision too, then the, you know, two are greater than one, and it can build a lot more quickly. So.
Well, I think what you said about getting your family involved, whether they're doing the business or, you know, or just supporting you around that. And one of the things that I just remember, you know, because I've been in longevity 8 years now, I would tell my kids, I'm going to go build our future. And I mentioned that earlier, you know, I'm building our future right now with longevity. And so they're a little bit more like, oh, okay, aren't you supposed to be, you know, go build our future right now? And now I want to build my future, right, for my husband and I, so that we can have a future that's not painful, that's not those, whatever the statistics are, you know, 65% of the people are either dead or dead broke, one of those. So really getting out of that statistic arena and having a better future. And Lorene's got to go, and you look gorgeous tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And before I go in what you were sharing, when I was in real estate, you know, realtors or sellers and buyers do not want their realtors to go on vacation at all. So, you know, if you've had your house on the market 6 months, you didn't want your realtor on the beach having fun with their family because you're paying mortgages you don't need. So, you know, I always used to tell my kids, when the phone would ring, don't say a word. No matter where I was, I'd try to find some place that did not sound fun or on vacation. And so I would put a big picture of wherever they wanted to go that summer or wherever their vacation idea. I let the kids pick, even if it was not possible. I still gave them a goal. And we would have it blown up and put it on the front of the refrigerator. And every time the phone would ring, they would sing that money, 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 money song and tighten their lips for little bitty. So you made me think about that. That was a wonderful birthday present today. Yes, because that's what we need to do for ourselves is remember we are doing what we're doing and working the hours we work for our future. So maybe your family's future needs to be put on your refrigerator or wherever that is, and know that every time that phone rings, every time you do something hard or out of your comfort zone or whatever it is that you do, you are building for your future. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the birthday wishes that you guys are texting me for, and I'm out. I've got another meeting to start right here in front of me.
All right. We love you.
Awesome. Thanks, Lorene.
All right.
All right.
Go. What do you got, Adrian?
Yeah, I think I was about to do the same thing as you. So, a great call. So, you know, just really cool hearing from all these perspectives. There's so much wisdom and so much leadership on this call, and so much for us to leverage. And you know, I think the number one takeaway here is that all these people, you can just hear it, you can see it. These people are eager to share. So reach out. Don't hesitate to do it. If you don't have somebody's email address, hit them up on Facebook. You know, we're all on there. Everybody's accessible. So just don't hesitate to do that. So we've got about 5 minutes left if anybody has any other questions. Anybody have any last questions or anything that they want to chime in?
I have another question. Sorry. Does anybody know where we find the information on whatever's going on in either Australia or New Zealand? I could not find it anywhere on the events page. And I have people in Australia and New Zealand.
Marianne will get it for you.
Okay. And then the second question is this call going to be recorded and accessible for replay?
Is. And I think what we're doing now, Marianne, correct me if I'm wrong, is we're going to start posting these in the Facebook group in 65 Days in a Wake Up. So okay. That way, that's the obvious place for these to go. So it'll be posted there in the feed. We put them up on YouTube, and so we'll have that out either later this evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're also on Masters of Enrollment under the training, on the training page too. So we'll get this up, but the other ones are already up there too. They're up at Masters of Enrollment, and I'll see what I can figure out, Jennifer, and let you know about that international stuff, because I'm thinking the same thing. All right, you guys.
We have somebody who's going to have to figure out where he is supposed to be in the very near future. So one way or another, we're going to get the answer to that question.
Exactly. All right, you guys. Love you guys. I'm unmuting everybody. Don't say anything. Bye. Hey, Vincent, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Good night, all.
Bye, Marianne. Bye, Marianne. Glenda. Oh my gosh. We had a great group here tonight. Thanks for coming. Congratulations again, Dylan. We'll see you tomorrow on 65 and Wake Up. All right, take care.